Okay, New York's favorite housewives will soon be added again, and there may be some new faces added into the mix.
Ooh, season 6 of The Real Housewives of New York will start filming soon.
And one of the housewives is revealing a lot more about her family and the life and death struggle they faced.
Your kid's going to need a liver transplant was a blow that I'll never forget. Jax ultimately was put on the liver transplant list at 3 months old.
It's true.
Well, joining us this morning is Real Housewife, businesswoman, and advocate Heather Thomson, who's here to tell us how we can help save lives. So good morning, Heather. Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
I'm so happy to be here.
I
do.
Yeah, I tell you, what is that? From this side, I can smell.
It's Tom Ford.
Really? That Tom Ford.
He doesn't mess around.
That's her signature scent.
I'm taking notes right now. Tom
Mix
Ford.
them up a little. You can make his stuff your own.
You can give the guys perfume advice, but you're also here to tell us about your son, Jax. And now tell us, how's he doing now?
He's great. Jax is a normal, healthy little kid. I mean, he certainly ebbs and flows. He's got his bumps in the road. He's immunosuppressed still. He received his transplant at 6 months old. So the common cold might wallop him a little harder than us. But he's doing fantastic. He's our soldier.
Awesome.
Are you close to the family that made this possible?
Very much so.
What's that relationship like?
Oh, God, it's bittersweet. There's no other way to describe it than bittersweet. Both of our, Donald Blair was the name of our donor. He was a 25-year-old young man living here in New York City. He actually worked in the fashion industry like me. And it was just one of those freak accidents and untimely. But in his death, he touched over 50 lives, and he saved my son. And his parents work in organ donation. So that was even the most bittersweet. And recently, his mom and I have really started talking. I think earlier on, it was just too hard. I bet. You know what I mean? But yet, and I get it. You know what I mean? I really get it. But Donald lives on with us all the time. You know, we celebrate his life with Jax's every day. And when I say he touched 50 lives, I really mean it. Not only with his organ donation, but with his skin and tissue for burn victims. We don't need it when we're gone.
Now, it's interesting because you mentioned you touched 50 lives. So obviously you've become involved with organ donation deeply. But what does one organ donation mean? Just one? Just one? Well, I mean, you can save 8 lives completely, not just by touching them, but one person that donates their organs can save 8 lives thoroughly between a heart, kidney, pancreas, things like this. The liver actually can divide into 2 pieces. Really? So part of Don's liver went to my child, and the other part went to a mother. Oh, wow. So you not only touch the life of the actual person who's sick, but what would I be like if I had lost my child? I'd be a different person. He saved me too.
Well, Heather, you've been such an advocate, and you've just been raising awareness, and you've also raised a lot of money for another young boy, and his name is Abner. Can you tell us about Abner? Oh my God! So I believe we have a picture of him as well.
That's Jax post-transplant.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's 6 months old. Oh,
cool guy,
dude. And that was him. What happens is they get really big, and then they shrink down to nothing. And look at his arms. There was nothing to him, you know.
But now tell us about Abner.
Abner is exactly the same as Jax was. So he had biliary atresia, which is a terrible infant's disease. And he was in El Salvador, where they don't even provide transplants. There's no such thing as an organ transplant in El Salvador. So we flew Abner here, and he just had his transplant a week ago. And his father was the living donor. You can do that with a liver. You can't do that with a heart. You know what I mean? And we don't want to cut into healthy people. We need people to donate their organs. God forbid something should happen to them. But Abner and his father, Hector, are doing amazing. And Kellner Pediatric Liver Foundation, which you saw on the show, I did the fundraiser on the show on air. Well, that was real. And that money is what we use to save baby Abner. And we still need help. So go to KellnerPediatricLiver.com, or you can go to Yummie Life, my website. I'm donating proceeds of my top-selling tank. I have a 2-pack at Yummie Life right now.
I just saw it yesterday.
We've already sold like over 300 since April 1st when we put it up.
Heather, it's interesting. You talked about the show. We've got to ask you about the show. I hear rumors about the Countess and Sonia and some of these other folks that may not be coming back. Can you tell us about that?
I can confirm who is coming back.
Who's coming back?
Okay.
Give it to us.
Okay, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
Me and Raz, me and Carol are back.
Oh, good.
And Ramona is back.
Oh, crazy Ramona.
And you know, Bravo keeps that stuff close to the, to the belt. So.
Well, you guys were the ones who were invited to the party, so we knew that you were going to be there.
Things like that.
Yes.
But yeah, we're going to be back for the next season, and we're really excited. In my opinion, I think all the cast will be back. You know, I think it was a big stir up to bring 3 women on, and it was a lot to get to know each other, really get to know one another.
Sure.
So I hope everybody will be back, and we'll get and hopefully maybe some new people.
Well, quickly before you go, I just wanted to ask you about the legal battle right now that you're currently in with Spanx. Can you give us an update on where you stand now?
Well, I countersued her. So initially, Spanx sued me. So I sent a cease and desist because she was infringing on 3 or 4 of my 11 patents.
Right, with your Yummie tummy line.
Yummie, the original tank. And so I sent privately a cease and desist because I wanted to, you know, settle the matter privately.
Sure.
And she blindsided me with a lawsuit. So I countersued her on Monday, and we're going to have to let a jury decide, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really silly, in my opinion.
Well, adding that
I'd much rather be focused on organ donation and Yummie and the Housewives than worried about a legal battle. Spanx is over here, I'm over here. She should do her, and I'll do me. And
absolutely.
We'll all be happy.
Yeah, well, keep us posted on everything. And Heather Thompson, thank you so much for joining us.
We keep it rocking on the couch.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
April's organ donation month, so it's a good time to get in gear and see how you can be a donor.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
thank you.
Thanks so much. And now, would you guys like to have breakfast?